I think in the AFC, the Chiefs are the team to go chase like we thought they would be in August. But I just believe that the Colts are best equipped to go do it.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers locked up the NFC South. They didn't have a lot of the normal weapons around Tom Brady, but boy, Antonio Brown made a statement in his return coming off the suspension. 15 targets, 10 receptions, 101 yards. What do you make of his performance? And I asked Marcus Spears about this last week because we know with Chris Godwin and the loss that he is for this Tampa Bay team and playing that big slot type role, it's hard to fill. Like, is Antonio Brown going to be that guy once they get Mike Evans back, once they get Leonard Fournette and all the pieces of their offense back? Like, what does he become the rest of this way and when they get their pieces back?
Yeah, definitely their slot player. I would say the thing that took me back, I'm not saying this disrespectfully to AB. I was shocked how good he looked. I mean, how crisp he looked, how sudden he looked, how good of a job he did at separating, how ready he was. I mean, this is a guy that hasn't played in a long time, and I know he's a Hall of Famer, but he still looked like he played last week and had 10 for one-on-one. And I think that's the nice thing that you take out of that football game if you're Tampa Bay is how ready Antonio Brown looked, whether it's going to be needed next week or, in 3 weeks into the playoffs. I think when Mike comes back, AB will own the middle of the field. I still believe Rob Gronkowski outside of Tom is the most important person on that offense for all the versatility and the information that he brings. I'd also say it was nice to see for Tampa Bay their pass rush show up a little bit. That was something that we've been waiting on, for multiple moments this year. But if AB is looking this good already, I feel way more comfort over the loss of Chris Godwin. And I'm such a Godwin guy, and I think he's fantastic. But if AB is going to look that way for the next 2 months, Tampa Bay should be okay.
Dan Orlovsky joining us, ESPN NFL analyst. Dan, with the Cardinals right now, would you ask the question, what's wrong with the Cardinals? Or would you just understand that the Cardinals are kind of in one of those situations where water is seeking its level after a 7-0 start and 3-5 over the last 8?
Yeah, I think it's both, Chris. I think, first of all, the Cardinals lost this game against the Colts because of their quarterback and their coach. Okay? Kyler Murray did not play well, did not see the field well, missed open guys way too often. And then their coach is really bad at game management. And that's been the thing for Cliff Kingsbury really over the last 2 years. And there was the disappointing thing for me, Chris, is there were moments where he got better at it last year. Like, I still do not understand kicking a field goal on third down in that situation at the end of their football game. I have no idea what the justifiable reason is for not snapping the ball on third down and then potentially kicking the ball on fourth down. So for me, Arizona goes back to the loss of J.J. Watt. I said when that happened, that was enormous when it came to their run defense. Okay, that has been the case ever since Green Bay went out there decimated as a football team. When they lost DeAndre Hopkins, they lost their identity as an offense. The guy that they could run everything to, the guy that always gave them the answer, the guy that got them out of jail free, and got them into rhythm. Anybody that thought Arizona was going to be okay after losing DeAndre Hopkins just didn't watch them play football this year. And it's disrespectful to DeAndre because he's arguably the second or third best receiver in the NFL or the first best receiver in the NFL. So, there's a multitude of things that have chipped away at this. And I just don't know and I don't believe that Cliff and or Kyler is ready to kind of overtake or be good enough or great enough, so to speak, to overtake some of the deficiencies and the cracks that have started to show in their football team.
Dan, when you look at where they are right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, are they a playoff team in your mind? And if so, how good can they be? Can they actually put something a little bit bigger together?
Yeah, I think Philly's a playoff football team, yes. And they could be good. We just had this conversation, Chris. I'd say we feel really good about, I think, 5 teams in the NFC right now, right? As far as getting in, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, the Rams, Dallas, and I think Arizona, right? So then we're looking at 2 spots, San Francisco maybe, and then Philadelphia. Philadelphia is probably the one team, along with San Francisco, that will not need their quarterback to play really good football to win. Like the Packers are going to need Aaron to play really good to win. And the same with Dallas and the Rams and Tampa Bay. Philadelphia won't. Like Jalen Hurts can throw for 140 yards in a playoff game and they can win because their offensive line is that good and because they can play 11-on-11 football in their run game that well. And because they got a defensive tackle in Fletcher Cox that has moments still of absolute elite dominance. And Darius Slay at corner is an elite corner. And, Dallas Goedert's a really good tight end for them. And Devontae is very good. So, you're looking at a team that's really relatively indifferent than all those other teams in the NFC that they're not going to need their quarterback to play a phenomenal game and they can still win.
Dan, real quick on the AFC playoff picture in the AFC North. We know that the Ravens have been decimated by COVID. They were down to like 13 defensive players last week. In spite of the loss yesterday, do you think they still have a realistic shot at the postseason?
No, Courtney, I haven't felt that they were realistically a postseason team since August. I just thought their quarterback and coach were out of their minds for a stretch this year, how well Lamar played and how well Harbaugh coached. They've been absolute. They had no business, and I said this week after week, they had no business getting to 8 wins, no business getting to where they were type of success as a football team. I just don't. No, you're not supposed to. There's too many good teams in the NFL, and if they stay healthier, significantly healthier than you do, then you don't have any chance. So no, I don't think they're going to get in. And if they do, it'll be a squeak in, and they're not going to do anything in the playoffs.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.